Let me just change the sharing option. Okay. So these are the information for you. We already covered that. Okay, so we'll go with the groups here. Okay, we'll start with the group 13. So group 13, if you are ready, please go ahead.
Can everybody see my screen?
Not yet. Let me see. Maybe I'm on the wrong one. No.
Looking at the list, it looks like two of you are sharing your screen, so it might be competing with each other.
I'm gonna stop sharing.
Yeah, you might have to.
Okay. Yeah. Now
Yes?
we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So hi, my name is Avery Teddy, and I will be presenting for my team today. So at the start of the fall term, we were presented with the design challenge. So for this challenge, the Ottawa Sports and Entertainment Group and Ross Video combined to challenge us to create a new media panel for the Ottawa 67s using Ross Video's dashboard program. So from this meeting, it was really clear to us that the panels that we made had to be editable and be able to make last-minute changes during the game, and that they wanted quality over quantity. So for this, our problem statement was, for the upcoming hockey season at the TD Place, Ross Video and OSEG are looking for new panels made using dashboard. These panels must be unique and allow for last-minute changes to data, scores, and content amidst the unpredictable nature of the game. So for this, we really focused on the functionality of the panels as well as the overall usability. So now I will show you our panels. So I just like to, can you see the panels?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just want to draw attention to the 4 tabs that we have on the side. This makes it easy to go from panel to panel. So for the first panel is the 3 stars. Once the 3 stars have been chosen, the information can be written on a CSV file, then uploaded and loaded, and the information will show up here. Then there are also 3 buttons at the bottom that correspond to the stars, and those buttons also correspond to timers. And then there are universal stop and reset buttons. These buttons are separate to allow for a delay between the presentation of the information, allowing the fans to have time to read the information being presented to them. Now for the next one, we have every single OHL team roster and statistics is loaded into this. This makes it easier for the user who's then using that information in the 3 stars in the goalie matchup. So you can choose from any of the OHL teams, and their roster and statistics will show up on the side in a second. There you go. And then you can also see the overall team standings as well as the top 100 point leaders. Now to sponsor books, as you can see, there are 2 penalties per home and away team as well as timers. So each timer has a different amount of time depending on what penalty it is. Then when the penalty button is pressed, the timer starts, and the corresponding sponsor, whether it's power play or penalty kill, would be presented on the screen. And then for the goalie matchup, it also uses a CSV file finder. So then you open and the starting goalies will be presented, and then the goalie stats.
You have 20 seconds.
I'm done. That is my final. Questions? Thank you so much.
Thank you. So questions, please. Our judges.
Is there anything for the fan birthdays or any sort of custom information to create the lineups? No. Okay.
No.
If we were to see, so really great job doing the collecting the data for the OHL teams. That was incredible. That information is updated fairly frequently as games progress through the season. How would you allow the user to keep that information up to date?
Jacob, do you want to take this one?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so you're just wondering like how to keep all the OHL information up to date.
That's right. How would we update it week to week?
I believe whenever like you load it in, like you press whatever buttons, like it automatically like pulls it straight from the website. So as the season progresses, like the points and statistics should also update.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Can you put the, how much time do we have for questions?
You still have 4 minutes,
Okay,
3
okay.
minutes. Yeah.
Can you share the dashboard again? Please. And how are you editing? How would you edit the 3 stars? So if we were to change the 3 stars for today, where do we change? Where is that changed?
So the you would write it in a CSV file, and then load it here, and then open, and then hit load, and it changes. I don't know. I can't get rid of that. I don't have an example of it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Um,
And the sponsor bug tab, please. Okay. Matt, did you have any questions?
Actually, can you go to the goalie matchup?
yes. Oh goodness, sorry. I don't know.
So the question is any of the team information, player info preloaded at the start of the game?
Like for the goalie matchup,
Just across the team.
the goalie matchup is, and then for the goalie matchup, you would use like when you know who the starting goalies are, and then you load it in, and then for the 3 stars, then once you decide who the 3 stars, then it's loaded in. Yeah. So it's not really loaded in before, except for the OHL statistics one.
If you were to load like an invalid CSV, what would happen?
It would not work. Right.
It would just appear blank. Nothing would show up at all.
How are you guys getting this data out to Expression?
We right now, like we weren't able to do the expression part necessarily. So right now we have the like fake expression link or the data server, and that's what we have. Because last week data link was down when we went to our lab, so this was the best we could do.
We only have 20 seconds left for questions.
I'll just say this was a really good job. Really good job.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So
Thank
group 15, please.
I'll just quickly share my screen.
Oh, sorry. You said group 15?
Oh, wait, sorry, wrong.
That's okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Paige Petrosky, and we are the Dashboard Docs, saving one sporting event at a time. So at the beginning of the semester, Ross Video is a Canadian-based broadcasting company that specializes in the creation of software and equipment for broadcasting live sporting events. So they had come to us with a problem looking for a solution. So one of the software is called Dashboard, and Ross created Dashboard, and that is kind of what we use to guide our solution. So after collecting, just listening to the client, we kind of really put ourselves in their shoes and just kind of formed a problem statement based on what they were expressing to us. So right now we have a need exists for Ross Video to develop and implement a program that allows a user to quickly and efficiently control graphics display for sporting events at the TD place. So the client needs were expressed with sponsor elements, fan birthdays, and three stars were the three subsystems we focused on. So after listening to what they had said, we came up with three different main concepts. So easy display of 6 to 8 sponsors, configurability, and graphics. So here is our proposed solution. So as you can see, we really, right now, their current solution is Dashboard, but it's not as configurable as they would like. So we really focused on the main aspect of configurability and user friendliness. So at the top here, you can see the 3 tabs. So we use those for organization purposes. So as you can see, sponsor elements, fan birthdays, and 3 stars. So this was just for more the aesthetics aspect, as well as just so they can easily see what is being processed right now onto the TD Stadium. So we have four tabs here. So sponsor bugs configuration, sponsor graphics, and configuration of sponsor graphics. So we're going to go into this right here. So the configuration of the bugs. So right now, let's say hypothetically, we needed to quickly change a sponsor throughout the game. So as you can see, it automatically popped up onto the button 1. So we use this so that the user can easily view what is being played with a toggle button. So the toggle button you can see is the blue highlighted, and that would be projected. So we also use an expression integer to project it on, it takes the data and projects it onto the screen. So as you can see, we followed the same concept with fan birthday. So the configuration, let's say it is Matt's birthday. So happy birthday, Matt. And here it pops on to the button. So as you can see, the use of a toggle button
You have
process.
20 seconds only.
Okay, perfect. And the 3 stars, again, we use, let's say, Paige, and she is on the Ottawa 67s, and it automatically updates gold, silver, and bronze. So thank you. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them from the Dashboard Docs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So our judges.
Nice energy page. Did you happen to integrate expression in here? So are you sending triggers to anything?
So like Avery had also said about her group, in our lab component, the expression machine wasn't correctly working. So we had to download a fake server called API. So here we were able to use take IDs with our buttons and connect it to the fake server. So then once we, so that we use that for both the sponsor elements and fan birthdays. And once we were able to, if we are in the future able to use an expression machine, we can just switch the servers and then connect it that way.
And which part of the project was most difficult to implement?
So I would say sponsor elements. In my opinion, my group members can also speak on this, but we wanted something very simple and easy to use, and we felt that having a lot of different on the dashboard panel, having a lot of different things on one panel was kind of distracting for the user, and we wanted to make it as simple as possible to see the button and to process it on. So that's like one of the things for our dashboard that we really focus on, the simplicity. So we did a lot of research on just being able to upload the photo to the button. And I felt that was one of the main benefits of our dashboard, because the user can easily see the button, press the button, and it is expressed onto the main TD screen. So that took a little bit of work and a little bit of coding to do, but we eventually figured that out.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any
Can
more
we see
questions?
the
Yeah.
dashboard?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, in the sponsor elements, I was just curious. So you call out here in a couple places like that the graphic like ratio is 16:9. Are there any other kind of limitations on the type of image that you can upload?
So we use a PNG for the sponsor bugs. So that was the image we used because it has that clear background, because that would be the toggle button use. So that's why we focus on using PNG files uploaded from the internet. So right here, you can see the blank background. If you were to have a different type of file, it would completely cover the button. So the toggle buttons wouldn't have any use, but we really wanted to focus so that you could easily view which one was being selected.
Makes sense. And then these would be displayed on the board.
Yeah, so as you can see through, we have the integer expression here, and then you can select which board it's being taken from and projected onto. So these can be configurable throughout the game as well. So the button, you would click the button and it would be taken onto expression and displayed on the TD screen.
And is that functional with your simulator that you in the Take ID, like essentially the message being sent from dashboard to your sim or to expression?
Lexi focused on sponsor bugs. So I believe it is, but just to clarify.
Yeah, we linked it to the expression server. As we said before, in one of our labs, when we planned to do that, the server wasn't working. So we linked it to the mock server. So all the codes there, it works just as it would with the actual expression server. We would just have to change it to actually retrieve the files.
Okay,
when it's working.
And how are the files that are the images here? How if I had a new sponsor, they're uploaded here, and are they on a shared drive with Expression? What's the plan? Does it upload to Expression as well as dashboard, or you have to make sure the files are in the same place?
Yeah, so Paige, if you go back to the configuration panel, the button where you select the integer number, that is what's linked to Expression. So that would link to the take ID of a specific file that Ross Video already has that they got from the sponsor, or I don't know where they get it from, but yeah. And then the image is basically just to label the buttons so the user can easily see what they're doing.
Okay, so in Expression, you'd create take ID number 2 that is Budweiser, and then put the image there for reference.
Yeah, exactly. The images are basically just to label the buttons so it's easier to see.
Perfect, thank you.
You can actually go back to the sponsor bug screen. And can you pick the last logo there? Okay. Have you thought about if someone's corporate brand happens to be light blue?
So Lexi, do you want to speak on this one, or?
Yeah, we could easily change the background color of the button. I think in this case, you could still see what it is. But yeah, if we had a sponsor that we knew wouldn't be visible, we could easily change the background color of the button.
Yeah, so we could easily change it to any kind of color. So if we wanted, let's say like a gray, or not gray, but like a red or a green or anything like that. So like the red wouldn't work for first choice haircutters, but if we felt that like that wouldn't work, it's still visible, but we would change that.
Okay, I guess we over time here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Group 7, please.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Audrey, and today I will be presenting on behalf of my group, the GNGGs. So at the start, we were presented with the task of creating a functional and organized dashboard panel, which can be used to display media to audience during Ottawa 67 hockey games through the software expression. Based on our interpreted importance of the criteria, we chose to focus on 4 specific subsections of the dashboard that seemed integral to fan enjoyment and experience throughout the games. So I'm just going to start presenting my. I'm not actually seeing the option to present my screen at the moment. There we go. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
All right, so the first part, we have crowd prompts. So we started off with 20 crowd prompts, which are all configurable, and you can choose the duration of each. So this is the main control panel, and then this panel is where we will get into the configuration of the crowd prompts. So this is where you choose the take ID, and you would select which, you would change the take ID based on each crowd prompt. Then we also focused on fan birthdays. So this is where you would do the start, the stop, the reset for the timer. And then this is the data table. This is where you would enter the names and the ages of everyone having a birthday, which is all easily configurable during the game as well. And also here you can add birthday messages, which can be changed. So a family member, anyone could really give a specific message to that person. We also have the 3-star panel. So this is just where you would click to show the first, second, and third stars. And this is where you would configure that. So you could enter the name of said player, Josh, you would pick their team color, and then go back and it shows up here. Josh would have the first star. And then finally, we're into our goalie matchup. So we have a game day and a roster panel. The roster panel is where you can enter the number, the name, and the statistics of any goalie for the home and away team. You then populate the drop boxes, go back here, and then they would show up on the list. And then the start stop buttons are used to send that information
20
through
seconds
to-
left.
Awesome, through to expression. So that is it for our presentation. These are our 4 dashboard panels we chose to focus on. And I open up the floor for any questions. Thank you so much for hearing us out today.
Hi, Audrey. Did you have a chance to connect with Expression, or are you using the same approach the other groups were?
Same as everyone else. Not all of our members live in Ottawa and are on campus. So first, we weren't even able to, all of us, get access to the exact Expression machine. So that would be our next step if we were to continue to work on this, would just be getting it through to Expression and making sure that everything works as seamlessly as we hope it does.
Great. And I noticed as you went down the various options that you're showing over here on the left-hand side, I noticed there was some varying font sizes and colors, and I wonder if you could walk us through those design choices.
I specifically focused on the goalie matchup, so I can really only speak to that one, but of course my team members can open it up for theirs. So here there's home and away. Home, we chose red for the Ottawa 67s, and away, just blue wasn't used anywhere else in this panel, so it just seemed an easy choice. Start and stop, red and green, pretty standard for those. I think it's pretty obvious, and it really makes it easy to understand. Green means go, red means stop. If any of my teammates want to talk about their panels and the colors chosen.
Yeah, so I can talk. So in terms of the font sizes, so we each did our own separate part of this dashboard. Like, for example, I was mainly focused on the crowd prompts part. So I think the reason why the fonts vary is mainly because we all have different laptops that we are working on, and we're all just working on our own section. So yeah, that's the main reason why the font sizes vary throughout each section of the dashboards.
Thank you.
Do you guys have, so this is the operation panel, correct? So these are all the red and black here are all buttons.
Yes, yes.
Are you able to show the output of kind of what would be sent to Expression or to the sim?
No, from what I understood from the project, the output would just be like you'd have access to that on Expression, and then you would match the take ID with each button, and then use kind of the description to identify the description on the other part there. You'd use that to identify which crowd prompt is which.
Okay.
It seems like you follow a structure in the navigation where you have kind of a control section and then a config section. What's the advantages of kind of having these in two separate pages?
I noticed, and I think we all kind of agreed throughout our testing with our chosen people that didn't specifically have any experience with Dashboard, it made it really simple and not too cluttered. So although this isn't much, if it were all on one page, they might not know what to do first, where to go. But here, when it's split up this way, you know, oh, this is the panel, this is where you select the players, and this is where you can edit the rosters, right? It's very clear, it's very simple, and I think it really just adds to the ease of everything to have it split up. Although you do switch between a lot of tabs, I think the time spent on each tab would kind of negate that and make it worthwhile.
Yeah, and to add on to that, so a lot of the config panels would be like that information would be added in before the game. So those would not really have to be worried about while it's actually game time. You could just switch between like the 4 main control panels.
Can you, so this is on the rosters. These are text fields that you can just free type into right now?
Yes.
And then they would update into the game day portion.
Yeah. Do you want me to give you an
Go
example
for
of that? So let's do player number 1. Stick with Josh. He's doing pretty well today. And then games played 7. Let's just start with that. Populate drop boxes and then go back over. And then, oh. Working. Let me try with this one.
And then while you're doing that, if someone else, how the data that you guys are sending, that you guys are putting into here, how would that get into Expression?
That's the part that we haven't fully worked on yet because we weren't able to access Expression.
Okay.
It seems like it's not working. Something might have happened when I was opening it up. But
Okay, and we are over time as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
So group 1, I believe. Yep, group 1, please.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming here today. My name is Christopher Akani, and we are the debuggers. Now, for our team and project, we are a group of 4 engineering students, and Ross Video has expressed a need for a user interface created in Dashboard to allow an operator to control the scoreboard and visuals during play and downtime of the Ottawa 67s hockey games. Now, Dashboard is a software application used to create panels for graphics to be displayed on scoreboard screens at sporting events and other arenas. Now, for our project, we focused on the 4 main elements that we deemed the most important systems to the fan experience, which were the team setup, the full page sponsors, the sponsored bugs, and the 3 stars. All elements will be combined into a single dashboard panel, and all were tested with Expression. Now, onto our dashboard demonstration. Here we have the team setup. So we went for a clearly labeled design that is intuitive to use. On the left-hand side, we have the home team. On the right, the away team. We had it highly custom.
Sorry, are we supposed to be seeing the panel?
Oh, you're not seeing my panel?
No, we're still seeing PowerPoint.
Apologizing for that. Sorry. Yes, as I was saying, we had a clear label design, it's intuitive to use. And due to previous prototypes, we made sure that every element was independent of each other. So there's no single point of failure. Onto our 3 stars, we have a friendly and simple interface that is easy to control and isn't intimidating to the user. So onto my partner, Maya.
For the full page sponsor, we have created our panel in a way that is clear, organized, and is aesthetically pleasing so that the controller can easily use it. The 8 buttons at the top control and display 8 different sponsors depending on which is needed. And now for the sponsor bug. The sponsor bug is flexible, meaning that it's easily customizable. There is no need for the user to edit the panel, just simply click a few times and choose their desired logo. Both of these panels provide an example screen so that the user is able to preview what is going to be displayed on the real screens. Now let's go back to the slideshow for the expression demonstration. So this video shows that our panel was able to connect with the expression software using Ross's graphics. Showing the edited panels with the new graphics is just an implementation detail. So why should you choose our design? First, our team focused on the most important aspects of the fan experience. And through that, our panels have been laid out in a clear and organized manner that is easily customizable. Our panels have been created with an intuitive design that is simple and hassle-free. And as explained before, our dashboard panels have been tested with the expression software provided to us by Ross.
Pick the best.
Don't pick the rest. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you reshare the panel, please?
Sure.
I wish we could do all of our demos in 3 minutes and just blow through and hope people don't see things. On the team setup.
Yeah.
What is the table at the bottom? What's the function here?
Here, these are text boxes for the roster. Previously, I tried functioning with a CSV file, so like having a CSV file of the players' names, but that cropped up a lot of issues during the development phase. So for now, we deem this as the current solution. If we want to go back, we could, but I think as a team, we think this is probably a pretty good idea for now.
No, that's fine. And what's the number?
Oh, this was just for expression for the testing purposes.
Okay. And how do you activate this graphic on the air?
So over expression, if I could go back here, our demonstration here. So the team setup is connected over expression, and it's connected to the graphics that Ross Video has provided to us.
So that lineup that you had is sent into the graphics that graphic there.
Yeah.
And then how do you trigger it during operation? So is this we see how to set it up? How would we hit play on expression itself or in dashboard?
Maya, if you mind taking over, because I was not there for the expression test.
Yeah, so depending on, I'm pretty sure for Chris's part, it was a drop-down menu. Whichever one you press, it pretty much triggers which screen shows up. We don't really get to pick the graphics. It was just the ones that were given to us by Ross. We just wanted to have the ability to connect it, knowing that whichever button you press or whatever you select, it does connect to the expression, and it changes what you see.
Okay. And that was through data link?
Yes.
Okay.
We still have 3 minutes for questions.
So I think your dashboard has a high degree of information density, and I say that with absolutely no negative connotation. I guess it's kind of more in line with maybe a desktop app or something like that. So I was curious as to if you were inspired by any other pieces of software, or if there was any inspiration you took from other sources.
Yeah, good question. So for the team setup, I was not particularly inspired by anything. We took a look at a few alternative designs or other companies that create panels, etc. But for the team setup, my main purpose was splitting into two sides, home team and away team. And perhaps, yes, you may be right. It may look cluttered, but after like maybe a minute or two of looking at it, it's clearly labeled. Where anything you like, for example, if you want the team logo, you have team logo, boom, click, change it, simple as that.
Yeah, I don't think it looks cluttered. In this kind of scenario, I kind of like more stuff on screen, but that's just me.
Can we look at the full page sponsor page?
For the sponsors here, just temporarily as placeholders, these would act as the actual logos for the sponsors, which we can just easily change out.
And how would those be changed? So if we had a new sponsor today for today's game, how would that change?
So right now you'd still have to edit the actual panel and change that, but that's something that we could work on in the future to give the user the ability to change without having to actually edit the actual panel.
Okay, and when you click on that, are you just changing the data in data link, or are you triggering expression to take that take ID online?
I'm pretty sure it would be just the take ID.
Okay.
On the sponsor bug page, there was a screen that came up. Can you just go through what that was?
So for this, at the time we didn't have access to expression, so we wanted a way to visualize what would actually show up on the real screen. So again, we didn't have like sponsors to present, so we have like the red box right there as a placeholder kind of thing, and this is just to visualize what it would look like on the actual screens.
Yeah, during the demo, there's a screen that popped up over top. I'm not sure what you did to bring it up. Yeah, I'm not sure what the screen was. Yeah, that, okay.
So this is how the user would be able to change the logos.
Okay.
So they would be able to go and access files through their computer and pick an image or logo that they would want to present.
Is there a reason that is using a different prompt than the one on the other tab?
Like other than the full page sponsor?
So there was one where you were able to pick the team logo. It just brought up the file browser versus the full properties.
Talking about this one, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is there a reason? Is there more that needs to be edited in that, or is it just the logo that you're looking for?
I don't think there's any particular reason. I think perhaps since there may be a set of people, we each chose a different design, but we can easily change this in the future to make it similar to how the team setup has it.
I guess we have to end it here.
Okay.
Okay. So group 6, I believe. Group 6, please go ahead.
Okay, are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Caleb Josco. I'll be presenting for group 6 today. Unfortunately, it's just me, and we did have some technical difficulties transferring our dashboard going from Windows to Mac. And the group member that had the Windows computer had the dashboard, and it didn't transfer properly. So today I'm just gonna have to show it on a video. That was kind of our last minute solution. For whatever reason, I wasn't able to get it on my computer. So I just have a video here showing the functionality and the dashboard. So first up here, we have the team setup panel. And as you can see here, it has a drop-down menu on both sides, the home and away. And they both have all the teams in the OHL. And on both sides, it's labeled with so the home side have the home primary, the home secondary team colors. And at the bottom there, they have the button with the team logo. And in that text box at the bottom there, when you click on the button, it would display the screen or the logo on the screen there. Oh, Sorry. Sorry about that. So the next one here is the goalie matchup one. So on the left side there, we have two buttons for the home and away. Each button with the goalie's picture would display the bio and the statistics for each goalie. And at the bottom there, we have the take ID set up for expression to be able to display on the Jumbotron there. So the next one here is the conference stats and the point leaders. Both sections there, you can put in the team logo, the team player, and the amount of points for the point leaders, and then able to display it on the screen there. So the next one here is the 3 stars. So we added, it was just 3 buttons here. So whenever you would click on the button, it would display the 3 stars. Each one you can change to put in whatever player is whatever player is that the star, and then you're able to hide it there so it wouldn't be on the screen anymore. So the next one here is the full page sponsor. So each sponsor has a button for their thing, and they all have a timer. So when you click on the button, it would display the sponsor and the timer showing how long it would be playing. And each one had you could stop it or reset at any time, and they all had the corresponding take ID, so you could display with expression. So next one here is the fan birthdays. So each button, same thing. Each birthday, however many birthdays you would have, you could configure it before with a picture or message or whatever you'd like with the timer, and you could hit stop whenever you wanted to stop displaying it on the screen there. Each one you can just put in, and it's able to hit the timer. So if it's 5 seconds for each birthday, you could just configure it to whatever is working for that game to game. The next one here is the screen, the sponsor bugs. So whenever on the screen there would have the top left, you can see that each different sponsor would show up when you click the button. Once again with the timer, so you could stop or reset at any point. And then the bottom, you can click again to hide it. Also set up with expression there, each take ID. So whenever we were testing, you could pull it up. And the last one here is the make noise crowd prompts. So each one a different thing. So when on the Jumbotron, the standard classic things, get loud, make some noise, whatever, and that's it. That's 3 minutes there.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Any questions?
How would you edit the stars and the lineups? So a lot of those things, as an action panel, it was a good like operators panel. But how would you configure this?
So for the 3 stars panel,
any of them. So changing whose birthday it is, names for birthdays, names for the stars, swapping in new sponsor logos, things like that.
So for the first one, the team setup one at the top there, we were able to have the drop-down menu, so you could change with all the preloaded OHL teams. But for the 3 stars, we just had a text box. Those were the things we had a lot of trouble with going from Windows to Mac. Things wouldn't transfer properly. So some of the things we kind of had to simplify and make a text box or kind of in place of something else. For whatever reason, a lot of things didn't, when we transfer from, if I made it and I sent it to the thing to put the dashboard together, just to the other group member, a lot of the time it wouldn't sync up properly, and we kind of just put a text box in there to kind of as a placeholder when things wouldn't go sync properly like that. But we hope to like the setup panel, how we'd have the drop down menu or something like that, easily configurable. That was the goal. Some of it didn't kind of work out properly when we would transfer it, but that was the goal there. Any other questions?
We still have time for questions.
Were you able to get this working with expression?
So for some reason, same thing, we would go to expression. We put to use the expression, we tried 3 different times, And for whatever reason, maybe it's everyone else said it was down to, we set up the take IDs to try to to get the panels ready to be used with expression. We couldn't get it to work. We also had the same problem. Whenever we put our dashboard onto the screen, everything would come up super zoomed in, and we couldn't even really use the dashboard. So the testing never went well, and we couldn't get it set up with expression either.
Okay. Any more questions here? Okay, thank you. If no questions, so we'll go to group 5, please.
Thank you very much.
All right. Hello, all. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, perfect. My name is Kai Thomas. I'll be presenting on behalf of Group 5 today. We are the Gearheads. We have Abigail and Sedan with us today in the audience, but I'll be presenting today. So just a quick introduction. This is just the layout of our presentation. Just quickly, there's going to be a problem statement, why you care, and some examples, and so on and so forth. So right out of the gate, we were faced with a problem that Ross Videos gave us, and it was to design a flexible UI for operators when operating and changing the displays on the big screens at the TD Center. So we were tasked with doing this through their in-house solution of dashboard and expression. So this is an issue where the majority of people would think to themselves, what's the problem? So here are a couple examples of why having a bad UI is a problem. In 2017, there's a biathlon team that won first place, and the UI failed, and they had to sing their own national anthem. This was done lightheartedly, and they were good sports about it, but sometimes it's not always the case. In the same year, a Slovakian hockey team won, and they played a Slovenian national anthem, and there was a violent outburst from the crowd. So although this doesn't seem like a big issue to the general population, there are cases where this can get out of hand. So why us? Why now? Why are we the ones creating the panel for this? We were tasked by Ross Videos while we were learning the process of the design process. So this was a unique opportunity for us to exercise what we had learned throughout the semester while coming up with a solution for an issue that Ross Videos had. So I'm just going to start you off. So this is just a quick couple of pictures of Matt giving us a presentation on his dashboard and quickly linking it to expression. I just wanted to showcase this because we noticed that they had a lot of buttons as well as drop-down menus for high editability kind of thing. So I'm just going to quickly gloss over the expression connection. So like many groups, we had issues with expression. What we could do was essentially change the subsystems. I don't know if you guys can see my screen.
Yes, we can see. Just you have 20 seconds left.
All right, perfect. Oh, in that case, I'll go straight to the dashboard. So we focused on team setup, goalie matchup. We have the team setup at the top here. Choose the logo, team colors for both home and away. And we also have home and team goalie setup on the bottom. We also focused on the full page sponsor and the sponsor bug. We have a list of sponsor bugs where you can select from, as well as add new sponsor bugs. You double click to start the sponsor bug. You hit the stop sponsor bug to stop it. And we have the full sponsor here, very similar. You click here, you change the tab, and there you go. It changes the full sponsor. Some notable differences to our panel that you may not see in other panels is that we keep certain subsystems visible all the time. So as you can see, we have crowd noises and prompts and sponsor bugs visible at all times. This is because we deemed that those two were the, I guess, the two subsystems that would change most frequently throughout a game, and as an operator, you would have to react to it quickly. So that way you would always, even if you were doing something else, you would always have access to these immediate subsystems.
Sorry, I have to cut you off because
yeah, that's no problem. I'm pretty much done. So like, if you guys want to ask questions about the dashboard, feel free.
Thank you.
So the center section here is your setup or
Yes, so
operation?
we have the full panel and most of our subsystems. So I guess the subsystems would be these tabs. That does happen in the center in a tab view, and you can switch between the tabs.
Okay, so the buttons on the far left change the tabs in the center as well.
They do. Although this was viewed as slightly redundant, we didn't want to take the option away from the operator to be able to use these buttons kind of thing. Some people don't like the headers at the top, so we just thought we'd throw in the buttons as just added customization kind of thing.
Okay. And does this work with, you showed the video, this works with Expression as well?
So our subsystems currently do not work with Expression, but we did get Expression linked to our dashboard and able to change subsystems. We can't input our own data in, but we are able to go through the process.
Okay. And the output of this is what? So the connection, was it data link, take IDs? What are you sending out of this dashboard?
So I personally do not know. I was constrained because I'm an online student, so I didn't have access to Expression. So if Sedan doesn't mind taking this, she could answer that a little better.
So basically we were able to connect the full page sponsor drop-down menu with take IDs, and by changing the take IDs, we were able to change the screens of the Expression, but that's basically all we got for Expression.
Sorry, can you show the 3 stars section?
Sure. So the 3 stars is not a subsystem we focused on. We got the layout of it done. So we have the 3 stars going. Fan birthdays is still a work in progress. We tried to make it very clear what was completed, what was not. So then if anybody in the future decided to take up our UI design, it would be very clear what needed to be done.
Okay. And the crowd noises section?
So the crowd noises section, same thing. We only worked on the chart, the list that would be visible at all times. That way we would have this added unique feature to our panel that many groups would not have.
Okay.
This list is currently populated with our own crowd noises. We were not given a list of them, so we kind of just did our best guess to fill in what we might think we would see in a game.
Okay, and what's the queued item list on the bottom right?
Okay, so this one is like our biggest work in progress kind of thing. This is very long-term future goals. So this would be a list. Every time you, let's say, did 3 stars or something, we would add a timer to each subsystem, and you would be able to add them to a queued list. And the operator would have a list of the entire playlist that would play for this, for the game, for the audience experience. And then they would be able to change the order them by creating, essentially moving the objects up and down kind of thing, or deleting them or adding them. So each subsystem, we would need to add an add subsystem button, which would add a queued item to the list. This essentially, so then the operator has an overview of what the entire program looks like.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
How much time do we have?
We have 1 minute.
What was the hardest part?
The hardest part was working within the constraints placed on us. For myself personally, I'm an online student. I'm not on campus, so some of the resources that were accessible to the students on campus were not accessible to myself. So it was quite difficult, especially with Expression, to understand what was happening there. Other than that, it was fairly straightforward. We had great guidance from both Matt and our TAs and stuff. So so the hardest part was Expression for myself.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you. So group 11, please.
All right, just give me one moment to share my screen. All right, so can everybody see this right now?
Nope, I'm still seeing started. There you go. I see
It
now.
is
We're
on
good?
now.
All right, so my name is Eli Pratt, and I'll be representing Group 11 today, also known as the Dashing Borders. So jumping right into our project, we're going to explain first who we were working with and our objectives for the project. So on this project, let me see if I can just, there we go. We were working with Ross Video, a Canadian graphics presentation company, and our goal was to add multiple functions to their dashboard that needed to be intuitive to use, really engaging for the fans, and overall just easy to work with, right? And that can be really expanded upon our full problem statement here. So with some other current solutions, you can see that the designs can be a little bit dense and that they can be a little bit hard to understand. And this can slow down the operators kind of using and learning the system. And that can translate over to the fans because they're on the receiving end, so to speak, of the operator's work. So from this stage, we began to ideate, and we decided to focus on two subsystems that Ross Video offered us. We decided to focus on the fan birthday subsection as well as the team setup subsection. We needed to, we knew we needed to make sure that we had a time limit for the fan birthdays as well as personalized fan messages and images. And then for team setup as well, we needed to make sure that the primary and secondary colors as well as the team names and logos were easily editable and accessible. Right. So now, moving on over to dashboard for the live demo for you guys. We're going to start with fan birthdays. Sorry. So let's say today we wanted to display two fan birthdays.
See your slides, Eli.
I don't really know how to fix that. New share. Let's see. Dashboard. Share that. Can you guys see now?
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So you would program in your number of birthdays. Let's say we wanted 2 birthdays today, played over the course of 20 seconds, so 10 seconds per birthday. Start entering in your names. Let's say our first fan is named Harley. We want to wish Harley a happy birthday. And we want to browse for Harley's submitted image. So we go to a preset catalog and we can preview the image here. Let's say our second fan is named James. We want to wish James best wishes. And again, going into the preset catalog to see James's image as well. So from here, you'd start the animation. It would run
25 seconds.
25 seconds. Okay, great. You'd run through the animation. You'd pause it if need be and end it again if need be. Clear the boxes, clear the time. Moving on to team setup. We already have the 67s up and running. And then for the Sarnia Stings, which is our second sample team today, primary and secondary colors are yellow and black. Sarnia Stings is their name. And we're going to browse once more in our preset catalog to see the logo, which can be displayed here. So you can again start and stop if you need to, and run sound effects if need be. So you can clear and reset. And that ends our demo for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, please.
So it looks like you've made some decisions with regards to button size and placement. I wonder if you could walk me through any of those decisions. So why certain fonts are big, why certain buttons are bigger.
Yes, ma'am. So as when you're operating any kind of large system, it's very important that you get the controls right. You want to make sure that start and stop buttons are very obvious and easy to click for the operator, so that they're easy to get to in time, right? And then the primary and secondary colors, you'd want to probably preset those as well. So start and stop is probably the most important controls there in terms of team setup. And then again for fan birthdays as well, which you can't exactly see right now. Full screen. There we go. Yeah, so that was kind of the rationale behind that.
Thank you.
And were you able to get this all working with Expression?
We weren't quite able to get this working with Expression. The thing is, some of the graphics that really pertained to the fan birthdays and the team setup section weren't exactly editable for us. That would be our next steps. Once all the graphics are ready on Expression, we'd link dashboard to Expression via the data link and get the take IDs, program them into the button so that when you click in dashboard, it translates over to Expression in the way you want.
Okay, so you don't have it, there's no output to a sim or anything like that in this one?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Okay.
So going back to your problem statement and
Yes.
how it relates to fan birthdays. So what was your decision behind with 2 birthdays here? I think there's nine birthday fields remaining.
Yeah, no, it was just for the purposes of the demonstration. Unfortunately, the dashboard didn't translate very well from my friend's laptop, Jonathan's laptop. Jonathan, if you want to jump in at any time, it's okay. He had a bigger screen, so his dashboard obviously had a different view, and I had to kind of resize some of the buttons. And for the sake of the demonstration, so that you guys could see everything, we just decided on presenting 2 today. You'd want to resize some of the buttons so that they could all fit on my screen at least. They work for Jonathan, but not exactly for me at this point. So yeah.
And if you increase the number of birthdays in that, does it highlight more of the boxes?
Yes, sir, it does. So you'd have that kind of thing, right?
Nice.
And then decreasing that down and changing the number of boxes if need be. Any other questions?
So I think we've been asking a lot of the teams how far they got with an expression integration. Could you talk about the work you did there?
Well, we did go to I did go to the lab in person. Unfortunately, some of the other team members couldn't make it. I did go to the lab in person. We tried to link some of the things to expression, but really the only editable graphic that we had so far was inserting names. And we didn't quite get that working either because it was just, it wasn't our top priority. Our top priority was making sure that we had a fully functional panel, and then our next steps would be linking it to expression after that. So yeah, we didn't get too far with expression.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Okay. Any more questions here? If not, so we'll move to team 11. That was team 11, right?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay, so team 14, please.
Hello, everyone. Okay, now it's us. I'll just quickly share my screen. All right, Sanjeevi, if you'd like to start us off.
So, hello everyone, my name is Sanjeevi. I'm here with my partner Vivian, and we're representing Group 14 today, and this is our Design Day presentation. So one of the most important aspects of any sporting event is arguably that the experience that the audience will be able to take home after the fact. And so being able to provide this experience as seamlessly and efficiently as possible is really, really important. And so in order to do this, ROS Video needs a fast and user-friendly interface that's able to control the input of information that's displayed on the scoreboard during hockey games. So the most crucial requirement is that the product allows the operator to input information and graphics that are displayed on the scoreboard and allow them to make small, quick changes in the event that anything unexpected occurs, like a last-minute player change. So as it stands right now, the user is required to input almost all of the data manually by hand. And so the operator is under a lot of pressure and stress. They have to juggle a lot of information from different subsystems all at once. And not only is this very stressful, but it also makes it a lot easier to make mistakes. And so what the client really needs is a system that improves the overall efficiency of the user's work.
Here's our conceptual design for a solution. It incorporates 5 different aspects in a hockey event into this one system. The greatest part of our design is actually that it automates many of the tasks that were originally manual. Our system gets a lot of its data from the official source, the OHL website, which saves time and ensures accuracy of said data. Essentially, we make the computer do the tedious work so the operator has time to turn their full attention to other tasks, which can further improve fan experience. In addition to efficiency, we really focused on making our system user-friendly. We improved our design until all the controls became obvious, not only to ourselves, but to our testers. So we're confident that the operator can adapt to our design very quickly. Next, we would like to show a demonstration of our product. However, we will only be going over the most important parts. If you have any questions, please let us know at the end. So as you can see here, we have a home screen. These large buttons underneath are useful when starting up the system. And let's start with the team setup page. The sections for the home and away team on the team setup page are made to be easily differentiable. For each team, you can select their name using the drop-down menu, which will also make the goalies of that team appear on the goalies page. Then you can upload a logo and select the team colors. Note the primary color will appear in the header for the home and away teams throughout the system. This is to help identify each team. So they'll show up here, and they'll also show up on the goalies page. And here the goalies have shown up. It just takes a while because my computer is slow. Next is our standings tab. This page we have made to be really convenient because the update button will actually add new seasons to the list as they are created. So there's no need to update the code every time a season changes. On the fan birthdays tab, the display button registers whatever name you type in into the system, and you can have up to 9 people's information. The button will actually display the fan's name.
20 seconds.
Great, thank you. The display button will register the fan's name into the system, so the button will actually show which fan they're for. For example, this one will now show Barbara Johnson, and this one will be Johnny. The clear button will then reset everything to the default. And last but not least, the 3-star system works pretty much similar to the team setup page, so I won't go into detail about it. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you all so much for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us, and we'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you.
So thank you for the time and care you put into the design of your presentation, and also thinking about that problem statement. That was the very, very, very well synthesized. Can you talk to me about the process you went through to come up with that problem statement? I think it was on your 3rd slide, I believe.
Yeah, so when we began the process, we were taught basically like the design process is like empathize and then define. But what we noticed most throughout all our question asking sessions, meetings with the client, meetings with you guys, and then processing all the statements in the like design question we were given, the main thing that really stood out to us was that like things needed to be fast. The main goal for us was not to input graphics or anything. It was just to give the operator a way to put all the information they needed to show during a hockey game, and they needed to do it very efficiently. And so like the best way to do that would be make it like both the system functions quickly and the system is easy to use so that the operator can work quickly as well, and that would maximize efficiency for everyone.
Thank you.
Can you bring up the panel again, please?
There you go.
And so this is your homepage. Can you go to the, let's just pick an easy one, the 3 stars.
Yep.
And from here, the idea would be to do the operation, or is this mostly just the input side of things?
This is mostly just the input side of things. So you'd be able to type up a name and like select their team. Everything's put in already.
Okay.
Did you have any success with the expression integration?
Or we did not either. Most of our team actually goes to the lab online, so we didn't really even have access to the physical machine.
Did
we
you
have a mock server put up?
Oh, you do? Okay. Anything you can tell us about that would be great.
We don't actually know a whole lot about it. We just know that if we go in and then we are actually able to add tasks, for example, if I just show the toolbar again, this button in particular, I believe, just really slow, can functions like qtake is actually possible to put up before like actually connecting to the expression server, but we haven't like set all of them up. This is just an example.
But that's still great. Thank you for showing us that.
Thank you.
And can you bring up the standings page again, please?
Yep.
And what are the filters that you have there?
So this will just let you select which division you want to show standings for. It's by default overall, so you'll see all of the teams shown in the same table.
And then if you filter by, go to the standings filter again. And go down longest streaks, home.
Yeah, some of them actually don't have a lot of data in them. It's just like
Okay.
everything that the website can access will show up here.
Okay. And is this what is this connected to?
This is connected by a JSON file, and the coding is so that each of these things will relate to part of the website URL for the JSON file. And when you select it, it'll change specifically that part of the URL to fetch the data for that particular section.
Is this connected to a live feed, or is it connected to static JSON files that you have on the machine?
It's connected to the JSON file you would access from the OHL website, basically the same file that puts data onto the OHL website. So if you see stats on the website, that is like, and then you go into the web source, this is the file you would find.
Okay, so this is live on there. So if there was a game right now, this would update.
Yep.
Nice.
So
We
a
still
brief
have-
nice, just as a quick note, a brief nice from Mike Pekang is something to really hang your hat on. That's quite a big deal. Just saying.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
So I guess we are on time. So group 3, last group.
Good afternoon. My name is Samantha Lowe, and I will be presenting on behalf of my team, the Dash for Design. A need exists for an intuitive user interface to allow ROS employees to play creative, informative, and entertaining content during live games on the scoreboard using the software ROS Dashboard. We plan for the user controlling the panels and the ROS video staff to be involved. The main competitors considered were Daktronics and Chiron, which have reliable and adjustable softwares with good fail-proof components. Our dashboard design, on the other hand, has gone through multiple testing stages for 100% accuracy of a smooth and bug-free screening. We also created an easy-to-use master off button in case of fail-safe emergencies. This is a demonstration of our prototype working with Expression on the live scoreboard. As you can see, as the screen plays on our dashboard prototype, it plays respectively on the Expression screen. This is our fan birthday panel where you can change the name, message, and date onto our prototype, and then it changes onto the live screen. We also have a screen preview button, which triggers the connection between our prototype and the screening. And this is our 3 stars page where you can change the name and the players. And here are our 7 crowd prompts. Functional requirements of team setup, information check, goalie matchup, fan birthday, standing and stats, full sponsor elements, sponsor bugs, crowd prompts, controlled panels, and quick setup were needed to be included in each panel, as well as our non-functional requirements of aesthetics, ability to reuse content, tying individual panels together, legibility, and reliability. Features of our prototype are the ability to make quick and easy changes for slides that require custom changes, like in our fan birthday panel, where you can change the date, name, and message for each fan. We have pre-made crowd prompts for easy access for the user to screen them at the right time for the starts of period 1, 2, 3, goals, hat trick, intermissions, and the end of the game. In case of a crash of any type of emergency, there is a master off button, which immediately shuts down the whole system. And as you can see, we have a very clean and easy to use control panel. If we had more time and resources, we may have incorporated our original information input design of the use of a CSV file with all information and added the feature of an autoplay option. To conclude, all the functional and non-functional requirements were met, and the needs of having user ability to screen creative, informative, and entertaining content during live games on the scoreboard were able to be solved. This concludes our pitch. Thank you for listening, and we are wondering at this point if there are any questions.
Thank you. Our judges.
Sure. So Mike is going to ask to see the ROS talk that you were sending. So I'll beat him to it. Would you show us that, Sammy?
I'm the one who's sharing my screen. What did you want to
Oh, I'm so sorry, Laura.
It's okay.
I thought it was Sammy. I'm so sorry. Yeah, would you show us the ROS talk commands that you're sending on your buttons when you were, so you're sending take IDs to Expression, and that's how you.
Oh yeah,
right?
the video.
Yeah, that's right. In the video, Are you driving expression in this video, or are you driving, are you using your dashboard to change? So above on the screen, on the television screen on the wall, we're seeing the graphics change in that multi-viewer on that television screen. Are you making those changes in expression, or are you using dashboard to make those changes?
Do you want to answer this question? Okay, well, we have a screen preview button on the dashboard itself, which triggers the change in expression to pull it up. So it is being pulled up from expression, I guess.
Okay, so on the button on dashboard, could you show me what the command is that you have on that button? That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Mike, do you want to ask detailed questions about that?
No, I'm good. I was gonna say whoever was following along with the demo thought they were speaking and presenting. I was gonna say that was some good multitasking. But
Really, really well done.
Can you go to the fan birthday section, please? And so the background here, you're typing that text over an image. Is that image also in expression?
So we originally, in our initial prototype, we set it as just the background for the preview screen itself, but we did pull it up from just an image file from, well, I created it, but we made it into like a internet link to pull it up in expression through the
Okay, so you've linked data link to the same
to an
place.
expression. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And screen preview is putting it up on expression itself?
Yes.
And the crowd prompts, please. And sponsors.
So we actually had 6 different designs, 2 for each sponsor, and then we had 3 different designs pairing each sponsor, and 3 different designs for all 3 sponsors.
Okay.
Any more questions?
I think this was amazing. Thank you for the preparation. Thank you for showing the entire integration flow. That's so important. Sometimes just making that first connection all the way through the systems that you're working with is like such a breakthrough, and then you can build upon that. So I'm really excited and pleased to see that you managed to do that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. So I guess now it's time for the judges deliberation. So I will see you, we'll see the students in the main room. And judges, you can join the Stadium 1 deliberation room.